speakers. Thank you, Kim. And now we're recording. Thank you guys for moving up. I was laughing because we got rid of the back row and then somehow you guys got further away from the front. So make sure you guys come on up so that way you can see everything. You can see the slides. So let's get started with one of my favorite things about the team meetings, which are our bucket fills. So I'm going to kick it off just a little bit here while you guys are thinking about people's buckets that you can fill and support. And I'm going to share this with you. So those of you guys that know that did donate and raise food, we did deliver the food to Animal House. They came and picked it up and they sent us this very nice thank you and appreciation letter. So it says, all of us here at Animal House are so touched by your thoughtful giving. And we send you our heartfelt appreciation for your kind gift of 50 bags of dry and canned foods. During these trying times, the need for Interval House's services have grown exponentially. Our emergency centers are filled to capacity, and we've been given the honor and privilege to assist more people than ever in our 43-year history. So it's just really nice. We'll have this letter up by the front. Thank you guys for donating. Thank you guys for farming and getting that food. It's really making a difference in people's lives. So just round of applause for everyone. Okay. Do you have any comments about this? Any other comments about this?
Oh, this group is an amazing group, and I am thrilled that this is not our first year, but probably at least our fourth or fifth year that we have been able to contribute to them.
Yes.
They're so appreciative, and they are definitely an organization in need. So thank you, everyone, for participating.
Awesome. Who else has a bucket fill they'd like to share? Anyone's bucket they'd like to fill? No? Quiet today. Deborah.
I always have one I can share. I want to thank all of our mentors. They do an amazing job of not only taking care of their business, but helping our brand new licensees get into production, get the training that they need. And I'm ever so grateful because one of us could not be doing that all on our own. So thank you to the mentors out there in Zoom land and each and every one of you here. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we have awesome mentors.
Yeah. Shout out to Christy for always bringing when she's here amazing breakfast.
All right.
If you miss the chicken, sausage, something. Look at the Dutch in action over there. He knows. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate you. Anyone else? Awesome.
Oh, and just sending love to Lenny Figueroa is over here. Is still out injured since the last soccer game, and today is his birthday. So happy birthday, Lenny. Happy birthday, Lenny.
I'm sorry. Yesterday, this morning's council annual holiday celebration, and some of us were able to go and join. She had a full year of presidency, correct? And it ended about a week or so ago. She did an amazing job, and Miss Scout juggles so much. You don't know half of the things that she does behind the scenes in juggling not only the office, but the Women's Council and a variety of other things. So big shout out to Halley, our team leader, and we're grateful to have you here.
Thank you. I just feel so privileged to be able to serve everyone. I think that's always been a part of my personal value proposition. And it's been an honor already to get to know you guys and then also to serve our realtor community. I think that's so important. I'm thinking about things that are bigger and better than just what our little sphere is and just what our little circle is and how we can help make a difference in our industry. And it's amazing. So thank you. It definitely is a privilege. I'm not sure if our speaker is on here yet. Let's take a look here. Oh, she just is on. Hi, surprise! You're a bit early. There we go. She's ready. But you guys.
No problem. I'm just in the middle of eating a bite.
Oh, good. Well, all of us are too here, most of us anyways. You guys, I'm very, very excited to have this person here with us speaking today. If you guys don't know who she is by now, you probably live under a rock. But this is Stacey States. She is our regional director for the LA Coastal and West Side LA regions, which includes most of this Southern California area that we're in. She's also a rock star team leader, has been for years out of one of the top market centers in all of Keller Williams, which is Keller Williams Boise. I know a lot of people of you guys have connections there as well, but without any further ado, Stacy, welcome. And I will stop sharing because I know you have some stuff to share. There we go.
Hello, good morning.
You guys, welcome.
Okay, so we've got people in the room with you, right? And then we have people online.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Well, good morning, everyone. Like she said, my name is Stacy States. I've been in the industry for 18 years and I have been with Keller Williams all 18 years. And I am married to a Keller Williams agent who works real estate in the Boise area. And he has been with Keller Williams for 23 years and in real estate for 23 years. So, you know, we got all those bold laws at our house and all the Keller Williams, we bleed red. And I'm just honored to be here and working with you guys. Halley asked me to just share a couple thoughts. And because I spend every day coaching real estate agents, I was like, well, what are the conversations that I'm having right now in this market and in the market that we're going into? So I can see the room. There's a few people off camera, but in the room even, can you raise your hand if you already are feeling the market shift or you believe that like the market will be a little bit different next year than it has been the last few years? I think pretty much everyone has their hand up, right? So I'm going to share some basic things with you that I think Gary Keller said, whoever gave us permission to get away from the basics. And then I also want to open up to questions or ask questions or anything like that about the region or anything I can do to be more helpful. So I'm going to lower myself down just a titch. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so if you haven't read the Shift book, this is definitely time to read it. If you have read the Shift book, I would dust it off and I would get right into it. What I want to do today is I'm going to give like a pause after each one of these, and either on a piece of paper or on your phone or mentally in your head, I just want you to take a second and grade yourself on all of these. You can either do like a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being you have this principle nailed, or a 1 if you don't even know what I'm talking about, or rate yourself like an A, B, C, D, F based on the category. And I would love some feedback on these, on what you guys are specifically doing. So number 1 in the Shift book, the Shift tactic is get real, get right. So somebody shout out, like, what does that mean to you? What does that mean in the business of real estate?
What does it mean? You guys have read Shift.
You can have a moment. Yeah.
I think for me, get real, get right. It's focusing on the skills that it takes to be the realtor that we really haven't been in the last couple of years, because the market was just so boom, 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 kind of fast and overwhelming. So it's coming back to being a realtor again, when we were basically an operator, you know.
Yeah, 100%. It's just like people were dropping on our heads, right? I mean, you didn't even have to do anything. I think James Shaw joked when we hosted him here for the Shift class that when he said, well, here's what I think the price of your property is worth. And they said, well, I want to try this. And he goes, okay, let's see. I mean, you didn't even have to have a script. The only script you had to say was, we'll see, or let's see. And you're right. It's 100% getting real with yourself, that like, how dialed are you on knowing your scripts, your dialogues, your contracts, like how to handle all that stuff. Kim, I saw you come off mute.
Yeah, you have a response in the chat as well from Drake. Be honest with your time and your schedule.
Love that. I think that also, sometimes people get into real estate and they go, I want all the time and I want all the money and I want all the freedom. And you're like, okay, I'm not really sure how all of that is going to work together, but I think being realistic about what you want to make, what you want to accomplish, and what it's going to take to get you there. And if you've never sold in a shifted market, it's going to take more, right? So remargin your business. Ask yourself, how have I done this already? We've been asking the market centers since probably March to look at their expenses, cut by 10%, cut by 20%, so that they are as lean and mean as they could possibly be going into a market shift. So grade yourself there. Have you looked at your business? Okay, do more with less, right? Same kind of principle. Like, can I implement these things? Are there free programs? Are there things that I could leverage that would give me a bigger bang for buck, right? Find the motivated. Is anyone motivated right now? Buyers don't seem very motivated. Sellers still aren't super motivated unless they have like a real thing going on, like maybe a death or a divorce or something like that. But how do we need to change our messaging? What conversations do we need to be having? What's our scripts look like? Ask yourself, going into 2023, have I even thought about how my marketing, my messaging, my social media, like what needs to change in order for me to find more motivated people? My drip system, my client parties, like what are you doing differently? If you're not going into 2023 doing business differently than you did in 2020 through 2021 and 2022, I think you're in for a shocking experience. Okay, get to the table, catch people in your web. Again, what are you doing specifically to change your messaging or get people in front of you? And that could be through social media, through ads, through Facebook ads, through command. What are you doing to catch people in your web? Pricing ahead of the market. Okay, remember the graphs inside of the shift book that talk about what do you need to price at to make sure that you get multiple offers and you at least stay even versus chasing the market down. Okay, stand out from the competition. What are you guys doing right now that are getting people to look at your properties versus everyone else's properties? Make this bigger.
What are you guys doing right now? We're seeing lots of marketing shifting and changing, lots of social media videos and things like that to kind of stand out right now when people are backing down.
Okay.
More open houses.
More
than
open
we've seen
houses
in the
than
last
ever.
couple of
More
years.
open houses, right? Like, oh my gosh, I have to work. Who knew?
That's important.
Signs all over the place.
Yep. So signage. Are your clients offering concessions yet?
Yes.
Right? Like, can I help you get the 2-1 buy down? Can I pay for your rate buy down? Sellers might have to pay for the appraisal instead of not paying for like, what are the things that you guys could do that would make a property more attractive for a buyer that's concerned, jumping into a market where rates are higher? Who in the room has sold real estate for more than the last 12 years? There's a few of you. Simon, only a few years for you. Yeah, Allison, I see you raise your hand. So those of us that, Jason, awesome. So those of us that have sold real estate for a longer period of time and have gone through that last great recession, know that even the rates right now aren't that crazy, right? I mean, I bought my first house at 6.5% in 2006. And I was like, that was a good rate. Like, so I think we're still at a point where we're trying to find the equilibrium between like when sellers are going to come down and be realistic about where things are, and then buyers getting used to buying in a changing market. I mean, just everything was held so artificially low for so long in several different administrations that people think that's reality, right? And so that's the world that they want to live in. I want to live in that world. I wish we still lived in that world, and it's just not realistic, right? I think we're going to see something much more, you know, probably in the 5s, low 6s settle out when all of this is over. So how are you going to get your listing sold and get people through the door? Again, creating urgency, kind of the same conversation, expanding your options, master the market of the moment. The woman who said that in the beginning, right? Like, are you dialed? Do you know what your scripts are? Do you know what you're saying to buyers and sellers? Do you know your business backwards and forwards? Like really mastering what you need to be doing. And then bulletproofing the transaction. Okay, this used to not be that big of a deal, right? Where you didn't have to like check on the transaction the whole way. You didn't have to have different conversations with people. What are you guys doing differently in this market to bulletproof a transaction? Anything specific?
Cross qualification when you do get offers to make sure that that buyer that's putting into escrow is really going to be able to close.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard that, Stacey.
No, Halley, will you repeat it for me?
Yeah, of course. Talking about lending, you know, conversations, making sure they're cross qualifying when you've got listings, you know, making sure that they're, you know, approved for any type of shift or change in the rate, you know, since that's changing fairly regularly. Jason, mandatory 3% EMD is another one, the earnest money deposit that they're doing.
I love that.
Yeah.
So another thing that I did when I was practicing real estate is you had to be more communicative with your side of the clientele on like, here's what's going to happen next. Here's what's going to happen next, right? Like every single step of the way. So for a long time in our real estate team, we've had implemented like standard plans so that people are getting like more frequent updates because their emotions are just heightened right now, right? I mean, they're just like worried more, and your sellers are even panicked, like, okay, we take our house off the market, and then what happens if it doesn't, you know, if the escrow doesn't go through. So really staying in tighter communication and making sure that your systems are set up to do that so that it's not labor intensive for you. Because if you have 3 or 4 deals going and you don't have a system set up to communicate with those people more regularly, then you're doing that heavy lifting, and that can be, you know, laborious. Someone's blowing me up on my Google chat. Okay, I want to show you guys. I'm going to unshare this for a second, and then I'm going to come back to it.
Awesome. That's a great list. It's good. Did you guys screenshot that to the picture of it? Were you guys writing stuff down? Good.
Okay, so I want to show you a slide. All right. Share my screen. Okay, people. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I like know how to mute this. Do not disturb. All right, share. Okay, so this is really fascinating. This is home sale units nationally. So it kind of shows you from the 90s all the way through current. And you can see in 2020 and then 2021, we were at 6.1 million units nationwide. This is what initially they were thinking like 5.1, 5.2 million. They're projecting that end of year will be at 4.9 million units nationwide. And then in 2023, they're estimating 4.1 million units sold nationwide. So what on this graph looks similar? Oh, I don't know, maybe 06, 07, 08. right? So I think that especially if you've been through this market before, and because LA is, like one of the largest metropolitans, we're gonna feel it a little bit because we have like out of those 4.1 million units, LA is gonna have a lot more than, let's say, Boise or Bend, Oregon, or Kalispell, Montana. You're gonna feel it because there's more units that are done there. But keep in mind, I don't think we're going to bounce across the bottom like we did before. What Gary Keller is suggesting is that we'll start the climb out of that in 2024. But really, that's why we're like, you've got to be prepared. Are your expenses are in order? Are you doing all of these things? This white line, what do you think that is? Agent population. Okay, so look at 2006 even, where that line is. So what this graph is telling us is never in the history of since they've been tracking this have we had more agents and less units happening at one time. Okay, so again, that's going to put more pressure on us, feeling like not as much business is happening because we haven't quite seen the drop off of people getting out of the industry that aren't serious about this profession. So I wanted to share that with you. Any questions or thoughts?
Hey, Stacy, I think,
Hi.
whoever experienced past markets haven't talked to those who have been through the last recession 10 years ago or so, and understand like what they did, and that's pretty much what you need to do the next 3 to 4 years.
Yep.
Good stuff, the basics, and that's how you're gonna all of us gonna survive through that shift in market, because it's not gonna go away anytime soon or right away. It will take a minute.
Yeah, and it's going to take a while for the people who say, you know what, this isn't really for me. I've seen in my office specifically, like more people retire that were on the edge of retirement, right? They're like, it's been fun, I'm done. So like, it's going to be a serious push that has to be made. So I'm going to share with just a couple more slides. So all of that taken into consideration, the great news is you're in control, right? Whatever effort you put in is what you're going to get out of it. Whatever systems you put into place, that's what you're going to get out of it. The number one thing I want to beg you for is, if nothing else, by the end of the year, you have your database in order, you have a touch system turned on, and you have a plan for your database for 2023. So let me just share some statistics with you guys. So Keller Williams is able to, they don't have access to your contacts, but they're able to keep statistics for people who have their databases in command. And I would say this is probably true whether it's in command or whether you have another database. Let's take a look at the trajectory of GCI based on how many people you have in your database. So if you're sitting there in the room right now and you've got 50 people in your database, there are 19,000 agents in our company that have 21 to 50 people in it, and their average GCI is $57,000. Now, if you move forward and you say there are 30,000 agents that have 201 to 1,000 people in their database, their average GCI is about 120,000. So if you're like, if you want to make more than $100,000, at a minimum, you have to have 201 people in your database. And then you can see as you grow it from there, you're going to see the hockey stick with your income. And I would say that this is probably tried and true. If you ask some of the bigger teams in the area that have 2, 3, 4,000 people in their database, they're making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, right? So the nice part is the path is in the math. Like, you're in control of this. And this is for people who have 201 or more, is where you really start to see that hockey stick approach. So What we're talking to people now is we're lovingly calling it the 201 plus club. So our goal is to have every single agent inside of Keller Williams have 201 people in their database. So agent count as of October 2022, 175,000. Agents active every month for the last year rolling, 130,000. And then agents with at least one contact in command, 114,000. So there are 34,000 people that have 201, at least 201 contacts inside of their command database. What else do you think that the 34,000 people represent inside of this company?
Top
Producers, yeah. Top agents, top producers.
Cappers. So 34,000 people have 201 contacts in their database, and 34,000 people on average cap inside of our company. Okay, it's not rocket science. So if you're sitting in this room and you have less than 201 people, there is nothing else more important between now and the end of the year to get over 201 people inside of your database and a touch system turned on. So just to further prove this point and, you know, hopefully get everyone excited about this is if you look at, again, inside of our company, agents who have less than 201 units, or sorry, 201 people sold on an average 2.7 listing contracts. The agents inside of our company that have 201 or more contacts sold an average of 8.1 listings. Okay, so it's like, which bucket do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the one that sells 8 listings or 2.7 listings? Right? For me, that's just an easy choice. So the last thing I wanted to pull up in this, again, based on all of the shift tactics, is like, how can you stand out? How can you have different messaging to talk to people about? I'll tell you right now, buyers are afraid of the rates, right? They're like uncomfortable with that conversation. Well, guess what? You guys have an opportunity exclusive to Keller Williams agents that no one else has. Gary Keller bought a bank. It's been 7 or 8 years now, and exclusive to Keller Williams agents, you can offer the 0+ loan. That's 0 lender fees, 0 other like junk fee costs. You get $1,000 credit at closing, and it looks like a discounted rate, credit applied towards third-party costs with $150,000 loan amount required. Most houses in LA are 150,000 or more, right? So all of your clients should qualify for this. Their lending rate is up to, or their lending amount is up to 3 million, last I knew. So like that covers a huge bucket of people. So this is something that you guys should be offering as a value piece to your clients. This is something that you should be talking about. You could put a sign writer up that says, call me to find out about a free mortgage. Right? So like, these are the things that this is time also to really dig into the Keller Williams value proposition, because we have thousands of opportunities like this that are going to offer value to your clients. So get with Halley, get with Minnie, get with anyone else in leadership to go, what don't else I know that I could be offering my clients, right? This is an opportunity that you look to the company and say, help me get through the next couple of years when the market's going to feel a little funky. So, all right. Hopefully that gave you guys some great information to think about and finish up your year and get ready for 2023. Any questions?
Do you, Stacy, do you feel the same thing out in Boise? I mean, first of all, you guys have a massive market share. I mean, I think the #1 market share in Boise. Do you feel the same kind of pressure, you know, from the agents and the shifting market, low inventory, etc.?
Actually way worse. So like our prices here are already down 20+%. Yeah, a house that you bought last year for $1 million is like, in fact, my aunt and uncle just sold their house with my husband. Probably last year they could have gotten like 1.1 million. And we just closed escrow at 825,000. So, and you look at the units and it's like, we're going to be down another 20% potentially next year. So, you know, obviously It'll be interesting because there was a CNBC article yesterday that said Boise's prices were still going to increase 8% next year. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of thinking if we stayed even, that would be amazing and not go backwards anymore. But we're seeing a ton of pressure here.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think you guys are I don't think you're feeling as much pressure, but I could be wrong.
Not yet.
Not quite that bad, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling the pressure for sure. Any other
Yeah.
questions, you guys?
The
Oh,
chat.
the
We have a
chat.
couple in the chat. Does Zero Plus do commercial loans as well? And what are their requirements for a commercial loan?
I don't think they do commercial loans, but Halley can double check for you.
Not yet.
Not yet,
Not
no, not yet.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
we'll have a resource, you guys, for the Keller Mortgage come on soon, especially at the beginning of the year, I think, and talk, so you guys can get all your questions answered.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, well, I'm really proud of you guys for showing up. That's all you can, that's the most important thing you can do is show up and then get 201 people in your database.
Yeah, awesome.
Stacy.
Before you go, Cece, thank you so much. Those of you guys that know or don't know, this region has really just bumped up the things that it's providing our agents. Think of some of the things that I know a lot of you travel to do, like the James Shaw shift class, right? Even just the awesome ALC clinic that we just went to for some of you leaders. All of this is from Stacy and her leadership in the region. So just a round of applause for her, bringing this awesome value to all of our.
I love you guys. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the things. We just wish you guys a great holiday season. So have a good one.
Great, thank you so much.
Thanks. Okay, bye.
Okay, moving on. That was great. Great to hear about a lot of stuff. You guys shout out to our December birthdays. We have a lot. You always wonder what was happening 9 months before this. When this happened. Valentine's? No. Anyways, you guys, if you see any of these people here on this list, including our Kim Jordan, make sure you guys say a special happy birthday to them this month. Okay. Great. Cool. So PSA. There's a mechanical issue with the front door that we're working on. If you guys haven't noticed, there's little signs, so please make sure when you're coming in after, good job, Miss Sophia. Make sure if you guys are coming in, particularly after hours, after 5 on the weekends, please, please, please make sure the door is actually shut behind you because it's not necessarily catching and locking properly. So it's really important for the safety for our agents in the office. You guys give it a little shove and a little push. Okay. Great. So Gabby, I'd like to welcome you up. So I always love doing a highlight for you guys who especially are helping families and things like that during this time of the year. And so I wanted to invite Gabby on to be able to pitch what she's doing to see how we can help as an office.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So we've adopted a family from a local counseling center here in.
It's just over there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the
sorry.
camera. Sorry. Thank you. You're good.
So anyway, we adopted a family from a local counseling center. They're here in Long Beach. The family is pretty large, so the larger families are actually really hard to adopt out just because it's a big undertaking. So we thought as a team that we would be able to accomplish this. We have secured a few gifts for the family already. So there's 4 kids total. They range in age from 3 years old to 12 years old. 2 of the children are pretty highly special needs with autism and ADHD. And then also, the family they've fallen on hard times over the last couple of years, so they haven't been working and they've just had a lot of issues. So we picked this family just because they're sort of near and dear to our hearts. So we're just asking for help. So if you guys want to take a flyer, I actually printed a few out. You can scan the QR code that goes directly to the Amazon wish list, and the wish list has things that the kids and the parents have specifically asked for the holidays. So it'll have things like toys and clothes. And basically and there's price points anywhere from, actually our biggest gift was just purchased, which was awesome. And that's for the 2 little girls of a kitchen set that both of them were wanting. So that's really exciting that we were able to do that. But there's also, prices ranging, I think from $10 all the way to like $25, maybe $40. But there's tons of gifts on there that you can choose from. If you have anybody that you know likes to give back and you're not doing anything this year, I'd be happy for you to share this with them. It would be great. We're just trying to help a family, just actually enjoy the holiday season, because I don't think that's happened for the last couple of years for them. So any questions that anybody has?
Chrissy?
I can get you an Amazon gift card to go towards whatever.
Yeah,
Awesome, thank you.
that's awesome. I know you can do the registry, right, Gabby? Or
Yeah.
you can donate, money to Gabby and or a gift card, so they
Right.
can help purchase things, because you guys are gonna wrap the gifts
Yeah.
too, right? For
Yeah.
them to, okay, perfect.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So the way the Amazon wish list goes, if you haven't done that before, is it will actually come directly to me, and then I will wrap it, and we'll be dropping all of the gifts off at once. It does probably, if you're gonna order from the Amazon wish list, have to be ordered by like the 14th or so, just to be able to get to me in time. So then I can wrap it, and then we're gonna be taking everything on that Monday to the counseling center. I unfortunately won't get to meet the family due to HIPAA laws, but they will be benefiting from all of our gifts. There is a way to do it tax deductible also. I wanted to mention that. So if you do want to do a gift card, that will go directly to the family. The counseling center will then give you a receipt for that, so you can utilize that for your business.
Great. Any other questions? Thank you, Gabby. Yeah. And it's just these little things that make the difference that we're giving back. And yeah, thanks. Gabby's got those flyers back there if you guys want to participate and send a gift and help support, and we can help make someone's Christmas really special this year. So I love that. Okay, I believe we have our next guest on the call. Cameron, are you there?
I am.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Cameron.
Hello.
How are you? Let me go ahead and stop share. You guys, so if you hadn't heard and you hadn't been to our team meeting recently, we have now launched this amazing Michael Lewis marketing suite, which is bringing you guys amazing marketing for very low to no cost, very simple, easy solutions. One of the last parts of our launch process has now been updated and implemented, and we've invited Cameron here on the call to be able to show us how to benefit and utilize this tool, especially moving into 2023. So Cameron, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. I am happy to be with you all today. As she just said, we are with Michael Lewis Marketing Suite, and we have a couple of platforms for you and resources for your marketing. And we have condensed everything and put it all in one place for ease of access. And you'll access your Market Center's marketing dashboard at kwcoastalhub.com, your office's website, and you'll go to more and then marketing. And this is where you'll find your dashboard. So your dashboard, again, is your Market Center's hub for all things marketing. Please note that first-time users of this dashboard will need to call in and get a login and password to utilize the items on this site. And I know some of you who are familiar with the Michael Lewis Marketing Suite site, you may say, I already have a login and password. You will need a separate login and password because they are separate sites, which I'll go over in just a moment. So you're going to call 310-606-2029 extension 2, and Jackie is on and we'll put that in the chat as well. I do want to point out, I just mentioned the Michael Lewis Marketing Suite site. We call that site the do-it-yourself site, and that is the site that you will go to create your pieces yourself. And I believe that you all were introduced to that site last week. And so in order to utilize that site, or access that site rather, you'll click on either of these links to be taken there, and that is the do-it-yourself site. Now, most of the other items on this site are done for you items, because again, we do realize that some agents do not want to do marketing themselves. And for those of you that applies to, then you have several options here. The first item I'll talk about is the complete list to close marketing package. And this is for when you get a listing, you will come to this site and make that selection here. This is a list of everything that is included in the package. It takes you from when you take the listing to when it sells. It has all of your for sale, open house, just listed, and just sold material in it. So again, after you call in to get that free login and password, you'll make that selection here and you'll choose from one of these 4 design options, package A, B, C, or the brokerage standard. And you will click the photo or the link to be taken to the site to order. Now, once you call in to get your login and password for our site, we will send you an email with instructions on how to set up your profile. So you will have already done a one-time profile setup once you reach this this spot here, and then you'll just give us the listing specific information, the link to the high-res photos, the MLS detail sheet, and on your first order only, your headshot, your logo, and your office's logo. And you'll select whether or not you like to print with us, the postcard size option that you would like, and then you will submit that information. This section here is to be filled out only if you did not already upload the MLS detail sheet. It's one or the other. You don't have to do both. And then you'll just add that to the cart and proceed to checkout. It's super simple, and it is a 24 business hour turnaround. So our business hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard. And so any orders received outside of that time will go into queue on the next business day. So again, super simple. You'll give us the link to your photos and your MLS details, and we flip those items right back to you in 24 business hours. The proofs will only consist of a flyer, a postcard, and a brochure. And then upon approval of those initial pieces, we will then send you a completion email with all of these assets listed here. And this package does also include social media posting for you at no additional cost. So it's super simple, super easy, and that is the list to close marketing package. Now, you also have an option of getting a la carte pieces, the flyer, postcard, or brochure. Now, if you are ordering this list to close package, the full package, there's no need for you to order any of these a la carte pieces, because that list to close does, as the name says, take you from listing to close, and you won't need any of these ancillary pieces here. So that is the complete list to close package. You also have the option of some free luxury, just listed and just sold pieces, compliments of your region. You do not have to be a luxury agent in order to utilize these. The listing just needs to be a luxury listing. And so you'll click this flyer to order and make your selections, and any of the pieces that are received by, I believe, 10 a.m. Pacific, then 10 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday, they will be processed the same day. Again, you do not have to be a luxury agent in order to utilize those. Just it has to be a luxury listing, and it could be a just listed, just sold, under contract, or buyer represented sale coming soon, anything like that. So that is free to you, compliments of your region. Upon approval, that piece will be posted to your region's account, so giving your listing more exposure. You also have access to the to personalize your listing presentation and buyer's consultation. That process is the same for both of those, and you will click the link here and a flyer will come up. Sorry about that. You'll click the link, and sorry, we'll have that fixed for you. But when you'll click the link and then the flyer will come up, you'll click the flyer and you can have our team personalize that for you, or you can still personalize those yourself for free. It's $125 to have those done for you. Again, this option is here as a done for you option for the agent that says, I want it done for me, but you still do have access to do those for free on the Michael Lewis Marketing Suite site and on the Marketing Bar site, just as you do for the business card and email signature templates. This is for the agent that wants it done for them. They can click here and click the link to be taken to the page here. The selections are here, and you can place that order for $25. Printing is not included. And so you have the email signature and the business card template that you can do here. You also have the option of creating a brand builder campaign. And to do that, you will click the flyer here. Brand Builder is a one-time setup fee of $199. You have 18 touches to choose from. You get 10. Our team will personalize these or change these color boxes to match your logo and your colorways. And upon approval, you'll receive the 10 images that you can use on social media and in buyer's consultations and listing presentations. And we will also load that into your CRM of choice, and you'll receive a digital magazine of that presentation, and you'll click the flyer to order. If you have any questions prior to placing any of these orders here, you can click to schedule a call with our team, and they can go over any of that with you.
Awesome.
The same goes for the marketing asset bundle. It's a one-time setup fee of $450. And I'm sorry, for some reason that's not coming up there. It's a one-time setup fee of $450, and you will click the flyer that comes up in order to utilize that. Give me just a moment. I'm sorry, maybe we can try this here and maybe it will.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I think that they, we see it on the hub. We know that it's something
Yes,
that
here we
we're
go.
working on, and yeah, maybe trying it on a different browser too.
Yes, okay, there we go. So any of these items that you open up, you should be able to click them and it'll take you to the site to place your order. Auto Farm is our prospecting sedative option. It's $99. It's a one-time $99 setup fee. And to get started on that, you will click this flyer. How that works is you choose from one piece for each month, and then you choose from one of 4 backs. Our team will set that up for you for only $99, send you those pieces that you can post on your social media, and you'll provide us with a database that we can send those out, mail those out for you if you like. Only 69 cents a piece, super affordable, super easy, set it and forget it. The last couple of items on your dashboard here are the Personalize My Command website. Is generally on there. I don't see it, I apologize, but set up a custom branding appointment. And to do this, you will either call or email our team. Now, BrandBox is custom branding created and powered by the marketing bar. And as I mentioned with the list of close packages, you could choose from one of those 4 design options. But if you agent and you have your own unique look and feel, then you say packages A, B, C, and the brokerage standard are great, but I have my own unique look and feel and I want to have that set up. We can do that for you for a one-time setup fee of $640 or $400. And we have these 2 packages here, and you can click the on this box here to have, take a look at those. And so once you have these set up for you, then our team will execute that same 125 package on your listings. BrandBox package 2 is a one-time design fee of $400, and it includes an email signature design, a 2-sided business card design, and then all of those custom branded core marketing bar assets that I mentioned, flyers, postcards, brochures, all of those things are custom branded to you, your unique look and feel. And BrandBox package 1 is a one-time design fee of $640. It includes everything that package 2 includes, but it also includes a logo. Perhaps you don't want a full package, perhaps you want some a la carte pieces done, and that is fine. This is a list of some of the a la carte items available to you. And this is by no means an exhaustive list of everything that our design team can do. So if you don't see what you're looking for here, we do encourage you to call or email our team. And you can also create a name badge here. We've partnered with Nice Badge to give you a 10% discount. So you'll click this flyer here to be taken to the Nice Badge site to place your orders there. So that is your marketing concierge dashboard. Again, your hub for all things marketing. And again, we have the done for you options here, as well as the do it yourself option to continue to utilize if you so choose. So again, your hub is, your dashboard is located on your hub at kwcoastalhub.com under more, and then you'll go to marketing. And in order to utilize all of this, first-time users will need to call and get that user and password set up by calling 310-606-2029 extension 2.
Awesome.
Do we have any questions?
Great, thank you. Again, you guys can find this on the Coastal Hub. Go utilize these sources. Let us know if you have any questions because we're here to help you put it all together. Great, thank you, Cameron, for joining us.
My pleasure.
Looking forward to the more stuff that this awesome marketing suite's bringing. I love it. I love it. So awesome.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, thank you, JC.
Bye, guys.
Okay, great. Leadership team, why don't you guys come on up here real quick? Yay. That's great. Yeah, you guys do. Yeah, Cindy and Deborah, go ahead.
I'll be the photographer.
We have a photographer.
We have a new Catherine in the room. Anne Marie, would you come up? please?
Yeah, Marie.
I think this is your second year consistently on Kathy.
It's been more than one, so there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. What's one thing that you could share with everyone, the reason that you capped or tip for something to stay motivated for this next year?
Consistently follow up.
Yeah.
It's really consistently. I started paying attention to how many hours I was putting into work, and I think that makes sense.
And I was just gonna say, she doesn't play as much as she works, because I'm always inviting her to come to things, and she has things going on. I know, and I love it.
She's on a mission. but
She couldn't even get her hair done. She did it in an open house.
Well, it looks pretty darn good.
Awesome. No, we appreciate you. Congratulations. Come on. Congrats. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Gorgeous. Great. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, Minnie, do you have anything?
Just one thing about expand what marketing said. It's not to encourage you to spend more money in times that you have to be or should be more frugal and more, concise and purposeful about it. But it's giving you more resources to be more creative. And the phone number, right, that she gave you, just call them up, not just to, hey, I need this and that. Also as a consultant, ask them, hey, I'm doing business for X amount of years. I'm doing this. Can you give me advice on what I can do more of? Or what do you see out there that is being done very successfully? Mikey Lewis was a good friend of mine as well. They service all of KW exclusively worldwide. So they know a thing or two about statistics and what works and where. So take advantage of it. It's like pretty much to have our own designer team. They just remote. You don't have to see them face to face, but we passed that part of COVID, pandemic, and everything. Okay, so take advantage of it and see how it's going to help you. That's right.
Awesome. Thank you, Minnie. Simon, do you have anything quick for us? No?
Hi, good morning. No updates, but just a quick reminder, the month of December is the new updates for zip forms and revisions to a lot of the documents. So be on the lookout. Usually it's the second or third week of the month. It happens twice a year, once in June and then second in December. So again, there's been some changes to the purchase agreement, listing agreements, buyer representation agreements, and a lot of new added contracts were part of the zip forms as well. So be on the lookout. If it's not this week, you'll see the revisions and updates next week. That's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you, Simon. Okay, moving on. Just in case you guys didn't notice the coat drive, we're picking up all the coats today. Thank you so much for donating. So if any of you guys have them stowed away in your offices, it's time now to go drop them off before Manny's gonna zoom out of here right after the meeting, right? So make sure you guys get them over there quick if you've forgotten already. Deborah, do you want to announce our sponsor?
Yes, our sponsors for today's meeting is a young gentleman. Come on up, Seth. We have a mutual friend that I was introduced to him recently, and he's going to share a little bit about his company and his services and how it will benefit you and your clients. So take it away, Seth.
Awesome. Welcome, Zach.
Do I?
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Well, good morning to everyone. My name is Seth Ochoa. I run this business, New Beginnings Inspections. Next year I'll be going on my 4th year. And yeah, I just want to kind of give you guys a little presentation this morning. So the type of inspections we provide, so single family, condominiums, commercial, which happens to be my favorite. Commercial is a lot easier than it may look. And I'll just go to the next one. I kind of skimmed through a lot of this stuff. Why a home inspection is so important. So I could sit here and read the whole thing, but I'll just kind of break this down. I know when it comes to a home, it is an investment, and not just, you know, you're working with your client, but they're how should I say it? They're more like on top of things. They want to know, like, hey, what am I getting into? What kind of property am I getting? I know during COVID, people were just buying things that I would go inside to go inspect, and I'd be like, what is this? That, you know, it is what it is, but they want to know. They want to know, how's my plumbing? How's my foundation? How's my roof looking? Electricity? They want to know. So, and that's why you come in as a home inspector to see what we're going to look at there. Yes. So, reason you shouldn't waive a home inspection. So I'm going to bring up something right here in the middle right here. So this right here is what you call a double tap breaker. So I'm going to bring up just a little story. I have an agent friend of mine. She tells me, she said, hey, you know what? I had, before she started working with me, she had an inspection done, you know, closed escrow, everything's good to go. Her client calls her about, I think she said like a month and a half or so after, you know, they closed. She said, hey, the electricity on this whole side of the house is completely out. She's blaming her. She's going off like on the phone. And so the agent's like, you know, like, what did I do? I'm not an inspector, you know, like I just sold you the home. They have another re-inspection done, pretty much this right here, but I think she said there was about 3 or 4 wires into this breaker, is what they found. But the reason why, you know, like we're gonna get to the root of the problem. When they had the inspection done, this was not called out. Very, very important, because electricity is probably one of the biggest things. It's something that can be looked over quick. But this situation right here was one of the biggest things. And then, you know, we're going to look at it in the long run. I'm sure you guys know, when you're selling real estate, you guys like referrals. So in that case, she was like bummed out because, man, what if I ruined a possible referral because of the inspection was not done right? And now I'll go to the next slide. So, funny story. You know, I kind of like to keep on going with, you know, why a home inspection is so important, why you shouldn't waive it. If you look right here at this middle picture, I want to say this was maybe about a month ago. I get called out to go do a job. I start walking around the house, and I'm like, man, I was like, I see so many gaps. And this is actually at the same inspection, these two. I was like, I see so many gaps at the foundation. Like, this looks very suspicious. I just keep looking. I'm like, man, I was like, this does not look right. I get under the house. I kind of start, because there wasn't much room for me. I start crawling, turn my head to the right. And literally, I cannot make this up. This was supposed to be their foundation, but it was being held up on the side by rocks. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay. And then before I got in, the agent told me that the listing agent said, hey, the foundation was reinforced before I came out there. So I said, I was like, yeah. So I get out and I'm like, hey, you know, such and such. I said, they said that the foundation was reinforced by what? And then they were like, well, that's what they told me. And I said, well, I said, you see all these gaps? I was like, that's where your foundation should be covered. I was like, they're being held up by rocks right now. And she's like, oh my, and come to find out, you know, a couple months later, as of today, the house is still in the market. So they still haven't sold it. But that's just a prime example. If, let's say, if I just would have walked past that and said, hey, you know what? I mean, I see the house is being held up right here by, you know, some of these rocks. We're good to go. You know, let's say 15, 20 years or so down the line, let's say something happens to the new homeowners and they're calling me because they could probably sue me. So, and they're coming for me saying, hey, you know, we have the inspection done. How is this not called out? I'm just gonna show you one more picture on that one and I'm done with that. This right here, that's a roof. Another reason why you shouldn't just waive a home inspection. I start on the outside in every inspection. I went on the inside first, looked at the ceiling, and I saw like little stains, and I was like, okay, something was wrong here before. I get on top of the roof. These are weights, these are rocks. The roof is peeled back on this side. And I was like, man, dude, what happened here? So definitely don't want to have added weights, no pun intended, but actually weights on there. And then rocks. But also if your roof is peeled back like that, that's when you come in as a home inspector and say, hey, I think it's time to have that roof replaced. But I'll go on to the next one. So you're planning for your future. So all of these components, it's like I remember like it was yesterday, they all worked. They all were serviceable. I had no issues with them. But because of age, you want to have that home inspector tell you, hey, your water heater, which lasts standard wise 8 to 12 years. Hey, your water heater is about 18 years old. Start planning for the future if you need to have that water heater replaced. Same thing with these. It blows my mind. For example, the middle one, heaters. Man, they last about 15, 20 years for standard wise. But I've seen them last like 25, 30, and it's amazing. They run like perfect. But that's when we come in and we tell you, hey, by standard, your heater is about, 22 years old. I would look to plan for budgeting for a new one. So. Yeah, so this is on the respect and what we do with our inspection reports, what we do inspect. The funny thing is people still ask me, do we still do this one right here, the crawl space? Do we still get under a house? Yes, we do. Funny thing that I like to kind of offer now with the team, because I have a team of 2 other guys now. If we can't happen to get under the house, we do have a robot. We will pretty much drive him under there, under the house, to pretty much inspect everything that we can't do to you. This is like a PDF form of my inspection reports. To be honest, I like the more the computerized version. The reason why I say that is because biggest thing I try to drive to people, if you get an inspection report, I am not a huge fan of just getting an inspection report that just has pictures, because pictures are like an obvious. You need to have pictures. I drive video. I do put video in every single report that we do. I'm pretty much about to finish that right here, but pretty much kind of give you an example. I did a home in LA. I go to open the vent and you can see there was a big leak under the house. I go under there, find the leak because somebody flushed the toilet, thank God. But as the water's coming from that drain, like just coming on the ground, I pull my phone out, record it. And then the buyers were just in love with the fact that they were able to see, hey, this is how bad the leak is. What are we gonna do from here? So a big reason why I use this software, picture, but also video. This is my pricing. I try to leave that up there for you guys to kind of take a look if you want to see how much I do charge for my inspections. And of course, you guys can always reach out to me afterwards too. And this is, so I try to kind of work with you guys if I do have to charge more. And what I mean by that is travel. If I'm going to like Lancaster or something or Palmdale, I'm going to have to add a little bit of gas on there. Pool and spa, I will work with you on that because pools and spas are not hard to inspect at all. You just need to know what you're doing, of course. And then multi-units, and this is pretty much what I accept as payment. And those are testimonials, things like that. I believe the last page is how you guys can get a hold of me.
Great.
Yeah.
You bring some business cards that we'll be able to
Yes.
review on our business board.
Yeah, so I have a little boxes over there that have like candy and well, actually no, let me take that back. They have healthy stuff in there. Healthy stuff in there. No candy, no candy. But please, I would rather you guys just take them, and I definitely want to keep in contact with you guys. My main thing, and I'll literally get off of here with this. I try to preach this to everywhere I go and to anyone. I'm a servant before anything. I mean, the money's cool. Obviously, everybody likes to get paid, but I care more about serving others than anything. I pretty much tell everybody at the inspection here, call me whenever. I'm up late, up early. So call me whenever. I'm more than willing to help. So thank you guys for your time.
Perfect. Thank you. Guys, our affiliate partners, come on up here. Welcome. And congratulations, Christy,
Thank you.
on your nuptials. Welcome back.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back.
So I'm Christy B over Public Home Warranty. And this past year, I've traveled more than what I probably ever had in my life. I went 3 trips during COVID that were all postponed to 1 year. So I've seen a lot of things, and everyone says that things come in pairs of 3. So this year I was in Bermuda for a hurricane. I was in Texas for a tornado, and where we were staying, they sent this tornado watch. So I called my boss. I'm like, hey, we're doing a tornado watch. Should we get worried? Is our basement? What do we do? And they're like, oh no, don't worry about that. We get those all the time. And then all of a sudden we're looking out the front door, and I'm like, that looks like a tornado. I've only seen them on TV, but it looks like a tornado. And then it's coming this way, and the couple is on the phone like this. I'm like, why are they on the phone? Like it's coming at them. So like, I'm like, come help me. And we open the door, we're like, come in, because it's literally coming at them. Like, here's our hotel, across the street of the bank, and it's going right towards this bank. And so they start running, we get them in, and literally minutes after, the tornado ripped the roof off of the bank. It was crazy. Then for my honeymoon, I was in Hawaii. The volcano erupted while we were there. And we got this beachfront property, and we're sitting there on the beach, and my girlfriend says, hey, listen, like, there's an orange glow. That looks like lava. And I'm like, no way, that's impossible. Turns out we wake up and it was a volcano eruption. And so one thing I've learned this year is that anything is possible. So when I was listening to his speaking, it's funny because the things that he brought up are my top 7 complaints from your homeowners. And it's so important to get a quality home inspection, not an inexpensive, don't shop price, shop quality. Because I tell you, when your homeowners call me, they're mad. And especially when it's in the first month, you know, they're like, we moved in, it was like this. We got a home inspection, they didn't call it out. My realtor said, you're the best, you cover everything. Those are really hard statements, everything and all, right? But I'm gonna start at the electrical box, right? A lot of people do remodels, but just because they did a remodel or an addition doesn't mean that they upgraded the electrical box. So if you have a single person and a big family moving in, if they didn't upgrade the electrical box and it's just too small to adequately size for the house, no home warranty company replaces electrical boxes that were not properly adequately sized for the home to begin with. I get that call about twice a month, and they're very expensive to upgrade and repair. That's something that nobody would cover. And I'm going to speak industry-wide, no matter what plan you get. So that's where everything and all is really hard. Structural, no home warranty covers structural. I get that at least a month, once a month. My agent said, I got the best plan. I have structural issues, send somebody out. Nobody covers that. Roof is the most expensive to replace and the least inspected. I get that quite often. We do offer roof coverage, although it's very limited. It's not going to cover anything around a pipe, vent, flashing, any metal pieces on the roof. We only cover the roof rated materials. The systems being older, we actually do not discriminate against the older system. So if it's in good working order for the new homeowners after the close of escrow and properly installed, home warranty companies will cover for that. As to how much depends on which plan you get. That platinum has bang for your buck all day long. The plumbing is so important. If they're not going under the house and inspecting the actual plumbing, the plumbing might work for your homeowners. They might have worked for your sellers. But if it was done with the wrong size, at the wrong pitch, with the wrong material, no home warranty company covers that. It needs to have been installed and maintained properly. And then pool spa. We get this a lot. my pool is peeling. Many homeowners paint their pools to get it ready to sell, but a lot of times that paint doesn't actually last. We don't cover the actual pool. We don't cover pool lights. We don't cover when the pool is leaking. We cover the actual pool equipment. And I think that a lot of the complaints that come from home warranty is from having unrealistic expectations of what we're promising the homeowners. So I always want to come from a place of contribution. If you ever want me to call your buyer and explain the plan, or call your seller and explain why it's important to get the buyer an adequate plan for their home, because they want to spend 300 and the home warranty they really need is 900. I'm happy to reach out to them to explain how it helps limit the liability for them. But what plan you choose matters, what company you choose matters, what rep you choose matters, because after the close of escrow, we're the ones here fighting for your homeowners. I want to make sure that you know that I'm just not a cook and bringing you breakfast, but I want to show you the effort that I'm willing to take, not only for you, but your homeowners as well. So if we haven't had a chance to work together, I'd love to interview and send you my resume and sit down and chat to see how I can help you with your business. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Nice.
so, thanks. I saw last year, so I got one. Anyway, I'm just here to reflect what's going on in the market. So really quick, two things I want you to look at. Number one, affordability will be the driving house market force in 2023. What that means though for us is not so much the affordability. They're projecting that almost 25% of the deals will have a non-spouse involved. Okay, so we need to start asking them, will there be other people other than you and your wife that'll be purchasing this home? Right? We're seeing a lot more of the communal living situation, but those people are going on title, which you could probably speak to very well. And then the last thing, Prop 19, everybody's going to be around the table. Just remember that there's the aspect where you can transfer your tax basis. You're all very well equipped on that. There's flyers. The other aspect is the generational wealth. So you can deed your property to your child, but as of a year and a half ago, it must be the parents' primary, it must be the kids' primary, and it cannot have a market value of more than $1 million. And they now check. They actually, the assessor can go on. So if the kid has 2 homeowners exemptions on 2 different houses, so again, the flyers on it. I'm around all the time. Awesome.
Thanks. Thanks for having us. Hi.
Hello. Kevin's absolutely right. Non-occupant co-borrowers do get a little tricky with different loan programs. So if you do have a non-occupant co-borrower, just make sure that you ask as many questions as possible of your loan officer so that that's all straightened out, because it sounds like there's going to be a lot of those. As far as interest rates right now, conventional interest rates are going to be hovering right around 6%. Government's going to be about mid to high 5s. It's really important to remember that this coming Tuesday, a week from today, is the next CPI report that everybody's waiting for in the whole nation, it seems. And then the very next day, what's so great about this next CPI report is the very next day the Fed has their announcement. So they're going to be basing their announcement, well, a portion of their announcement, but certainly the CPI will help them set the tone of where interest rates are going next year. And if we know the tone of interest rates next year, we know about how affordability is going to affect value. So very important to have all those conversations with your sellers and buyers after that December 13th, 14th, because it's going to tell us a lot about next year. And I think it's going to tell us a lot about values too.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Sarah. Okay.
I don't know if you heard about the LA city tax coming out next year, April. I just got a notice.
I just got a notice too. I'm ruminating on it before I start
I know.
bothering people with it, but it's going to be a thing.
I just got a notice we're going to be updating our system for this new LA city tax. It's also known as the mansion tax. So I know we're all shopping those $5 million listings, right? Really only affects 5 million and more, but it's a huge percentage. So if you have a listing, it's residential or commercial, and it's over 5 million, that seller not only has to pay county transfer tax, city transfer tax, and now the mansion tax, which is 4% of the purchase price. So like a $5 million home is like $200,000.
just so you know, this is the precursor to more of this commercial taxation type of situation.
Yeah.
So anytime they ask you to contribute to lobbying for real estate,
Yeah.
do it. Seriously, do it.
Voted on. Ballot, like I can't believe it got voted on. All these funds are going to California affordable housing, which we just had the Senate Bill 2 passed, so I don't know where all that money is going. But I just want to make sure people are aware. This is effective April 1st of next year. So just keep that in mind if you do have, multiple units, anything over 4 is considered commercial. So those account too. If there's 5 million and more, just keep that in mind. So another thing, taxes are due December 10th. So if you haven't reached out to buyers, please still I'm still getting calls. I got an email today. Do I pay this tax bill? I just bought this. I'm not sure. So something to reach out to your clients on. And just like a couple samples, like I wonder if like how often people reach out to buyers. So I've had 2 buyers recently that we closed escrow with, and they both ended up becoming sellers. Unfortunately, they fought for us for escrow, but their realtors wouldn't let them. But they both reached out to me to tell me how terrible their escrow experience was and how much they like pushed their realtor to use us. I had one buyer, they're investors, and he was like, we chose a friend of a friend for the escrow, and it was the worst experience. He said the whole time we were like, Sarah wouldn't have done that. Sarah wouldn't have done this. And he told me, he's like, I will never, ever let anyone else choose my escrow company moving forward. So keep that in mind though, too. These buyers also chose different realtors when they went to sell. So like, keep reaching out to those buyers too. Like, make sure you're still in contact with them because you never know when they become a seller or they want to invest or, you just never know. So it's the things, food for thought.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, if you guys haven't seen, we just are going to start promoting January 13th at Old Ranch. We have a very special treat again being brought to you from the region and Keller Williams International. Jason Abrams and Mark King are going to be teaching Shift into Overthrive, which is going to be fun. You guys can scan the QR code link to be able to generate, again, that's like no travel time. Since Old Ranch is so close for us, that's happening right after the first of the year, January 13th. Do not miss. All of our leadership's going to be there. It's going to be amazing. Just in case you guys haven't heard again, this tomorrow is the business planning clinic that's happening. Follow up with Fritz and myself. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of conversations you've never heard before. It's going to be a lot of come to Jesus conversations about where we are in our business and where we need to go next year. Make sure you guys do sign up. Cindy has the sign up list right there because we are preparing some materials for you that is going to be personalized, especially if you've ever had any production. It's going to be even more grand. But if you're a brand new agent, that's okay. Make sure you sign up because you're going to get tons of value for it. Make sure you get that leg up. We will be serving lunch. It's going to start about 12:30. So make sure you guys come a bit early so we can get settled and get comfortable and enjoy this super entertaining day with Fritz, amateur comedian. Yep. Just like Simon said, understanding the purchase contracts and agreements, that's happening today from 2 to 3 on Zoom. Make sure you guys hop on there again to stay informed about the change of the contracts, so that you're able to help objection handle and explain it to your clients, right? They're gonna have lots of questions.
In about a week or 2 weeks, he's gonna have a whole session with the whole changes to the contracts. One that those gonna be confirmed.
Yeah, great, thank you. Of course, Many's KW Commercial SoCal meeting with special host John Merrill, who's the KW Commercial segment leader for retail and industrial. That's happening today from 1 to 2.
And our commercial sessions are open to everybody. That's gonna be super interesting, just to understand that market, etc. Even don't practice commercial, just to know something in addition to how that world works and how that's gonna affect maybe our niche.
Awesome. Many side note, Real Estate Live happening with Many next Tuesday. What's going on?
Next Tuesday with Christina. She, if you were in the meeting, I mean, 2 months ago, month and a half ago, she introduced the relo division, the relocation. This time we're actually going to dive a bit deeper, and she's going to give us some case studies, like real stuff that they did between the offices and agents. So just to encourage you again to focus on industry or niche of industry that always going to be there, like probates, right, relocation, etc. To give you a little bit outside the box thinking. So if whatever you do, kind of shrinks a little bit, it doesn't yield as much return. Look about on other avenues that can, give you some kind of return. So that's that.
Awesome. KW Masterminded 2. We're also talking about create wealth through your business. That's happening next Thursday with many. We have our monthly family hike that's coming up December 11th on Sunday. Is it going to still be in Studio City? I thought you guys were bringing it closer.
Far away.
I thought you were bringing it closer. No?
Studio City, yeah, it was Studio City.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's a great hike.
It is a good hike. Okay, script and role play, of course, that's happening tomorrow, right before Fritz's session. We will not be having the arcade mastery because of the business planning session, so just make sure you guys all come to that. Thank you all for attending last week. We had a great time. Again, holiday party Thursday. If you guys didn't RSVP already, or you had a change of plans, or you had a guest that you're going to bring and now you don't, make sure you please call and update the front, so that way we can make sure we have an accurate head count of everyone. Excited to celebrate with you?
Oh, there it is. I was
Yep.
just gonna say, if you are curious what those cute little boxes are out front and how you can participate with those, it's our holiday raffle. The ticket prices are there. Please see Sophia. If you want to Venmo, I think most of you have my Venmo, but let me know and we can get that to you.
And where's Gabby? She left?
Yes.
So tell Gabby, because all this money goes to KW Cares, to our charity. So tell Gabby that if you're gonna cross $1,000, so whatever amount overall, 50% of it is gonna go to support her family.
Nice.
So
Nice.
help us to help her, but also, I mean, it's there's awesome prizes. Mike, thank you for the mix of stuff. Let's have fun and support.
Awesome.
Someone.
You guys, that's it. Make sure you join Steve's class on this Saturday. That's happening, RPA stuff. You guys, welcome.
Awesome meeting.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a raffle.
Huh?
You have a raffle.
Oh, you did?
It's a good one.
Oh, Seth does.
The business card now. Business cards or what did
Not
you
yet.
do?
So I